Hi everyone, this is Captain B-Rye and the Hat of Justice. I want to tell you guys about the progress I've made on OmniBlade over the past few days. First thing though, it's not going to be about my progress, it's going to be about the progress of the artist, and he has done just a masterful job so far. Currently we've got some concept art together. This art isn't final, but it's definitely going in the direction that I feel is just nearly optimal for this project. So I'm going to go ahead and bring up the concept portrait of the first character, the main character, in this case, Jack. Now, this is Jack. The only thing that's probably going to change is we're probably going to get rid of the cape, because at some point capes become a little bit, I guess, a little bit stereotypical for lead characters, and I'm not so sure about this, but I presume it might make animation a little more of a pain in the butt. Of course, that's not my arena, but and he'll be a single blade wielding character. Other than that, this is pretty much perfect stuff. And again, this artist Master Kraken is absolutely masterful, as you can see. So let's take a look at the next character. Here's Lena, and the concept portrait that I chose for Lena is the one on the left. I changed the story a little bit because she looks awfully sweet and innocent for being someone in the Colosseum, but I made that work in the story, and in fact I think it's improved the story. So it's always great when your artists inspire you, or other creative people around you inspire you to do a better job yourself. So I'm really happy with that. And then the portrait on the right, she may be used for another character in the game, I'm not so sure, but I definitely like the one on the left. It's masterful. And next character will be, what's her name? Meryl. She's sort of the wizard type, older, more adult wizard character. She'll play a very nuanced part in the story. And again, amazing art. Amazing art. So that's the concept art we've got so far. And it's just working superbly. So, cycle through these images again. Here's Jack, main character. Lana on the left, another main character. And Meryl, which is another main character. All three of these will be playable characters. So, pretty great stuff. I mean, I can't say enough for this guy. But we do have to move on. So let's see what else we've got on the agenda for this video. Here's something less impressive. Here's the game so far. I'll just show you what I got. I actually did add a few things last time. I have most of the screens, most of the main screens in, and I'll just kind of cycle through those for you all right quick. And you'll notice some music. I just threw some of my music in there, just for mood. So, the first button, which we don't have art for yet. Well, let's skip that one. The second button, which we don't have art for yet. We don't have really any art in the game yet. Here's the load save screen. It doesn't have any options yet. It just has the back button. Third button is the credits. There's my name and there's the artist, Dan Rivera. It may be Dan Riviera. I'll have to figure out his name for sure, obviously. And the fourth one is, of course, the exit, which I showed you last time. And the first one will actually take you, this is the new game button, and that'll actually take you to a map. So you may recognize this map from the editor. And here you can see, this is the controls are implemented, like I said they would be in the PDD. Basically you aim, and the character follows where your mouse is pushed down at. And I do have collision going on now, so, and I also have the overlay, the background has different layers now, so you can go in front or in back, depending on what layers are. And that's really about it. Not much else to show. I just press the back button here, and we'll go back to the menu. And that is it for the programming stuff I've implemented so far. And the last thing we'll go over in this video is the code changes that allow me to implement that code, at least at a high level. So what we have here, let me get my nerd glasses on. We have a couple up here. These are mostly just literals defining the various addresses at which edited objects are placed. We went over that in the last video, so I won't bore you with that again. We do have a few new literals, like the load literals, the address of the load group, the address of the file name from which the entities for the load UI, the load screen, are loaded, credits, similar stuff. Here's the map literals, which describe, again, these are the addresses for the entities, for the literals in the map, for the objects on the map, such as the map literals. Moving along. So let's see here. We have a few new functions. Create load screen, create credit screen, create map screen. This stuff is all pretty straightforward. It's very similar to the other function we had before. Basically, it creates this dissolve screen from a file, giving it a particular file name and some parameters, and telling it what address it should be at so it can be addressed from other parts of the game. And all I really do is all I added here in basically the main function, if you want, is I added a play song message, and it just describes the song that's going to get played. And you can see here I concatenated, well, I append it to the audio messages of the world here. And then here I create I think I already did this last time. Last time it just specifies what sprite I use for the splash screen. So the big new image for the splash screen is specified by that. And here's where the splash screen is added. Here's where the title screen is added, load screen, credits, map screen. And transition screen, what is that? Oh, okay. This function right here just puts the world into a state where it's transitioning to the splash screen. And then everything after that will be based on the subscriptions that got set up here. So for example, when we go to the splash screen, we set up this transition screen handler to make it go to the title screen. Once it's finished doing its splash, which we looked at on the last video. We got other subscriptions set up here. So for the load screen, we had to set up a subscription for when you click the load back button, and it will just call this function called handle event as screen transition, specifying it transitions to the load screen, or specifying it transitions from the load screen to the title screen. Similar stuff down with like the credit screen. Same thing for the map screen. Subscribe is how all the transitions are set up by specifying addresses and setting them up as transitions for the events on the appropriate click event. And this is just a literal, so I'll go navigate to the literal. And literal is just an address. Stir adder stir takes a string and an address and a string and concatenates them all into a single address. So this would end up being click / This would end up being no. I'm sorry. This ends up being an address with a click group and then back. Would be the components the address is made out of. And addresses in this engine are really simple. They're just sort of like strings. I don't use strings for addresses. I use what I call lookup names, LUNs. I don't want to go into detail on that. They're like strings. They work like strings, but they're much faster to look up in a map. And so an address is just a list of LUNs. So that's what that would actually end up looking like. that is, yeah, so that's how it works. That's the new code. That's the art. Again, I'm super impressed and amazed by what Dan has been able to produce in the past week or so. Again, great art like that, I think, really inspires good changes to the game. So, again, you see me running around here with the circle guy in the middle. I guess he's the placeholder art for the avatar. It'll be an animated character, obviously, once I get some art for that. So, anywho, thank you all for watching my vlog. Please leave comments or send email with questions about the code. It's all open source. Any questions about the code or the game design, all that stuff's available at the GitHub at the bottom of this video. So please let me know if you have any questions or comments. Take care.